Puck about to be dropped under center for the Chips. Cody DiLorenzo, one back to the Chippewas. Chotsko gets it for a second and pushes it up ice. This is more of your NHL 16 kind of view that we had talked about yesterday. You know, when you're playing with your friends, the camera's going to be following you over top. That's kind of what we're dealing with right now. It's a quick shot attempt right there from Austin Cole. Cole getting the start today. Chotsko had it for a second, gets it back to Cole. Cole passes it well over to Richard Cortopassi. Now playing with it in the corner is Cal Jesko. Calvin coming up with it for a second before the Chippewas try and play it again. Now it's in the neutral zone, going back to Cordo. Cordo passes it back up ice to D'Lo, and D'Lo loses it for a second before it's pushed back into the Chippewa defensive zone.
Cordo coming back on defense. Looks like they're going to try to rotate him so that they can have Cal step up in the play like he's doing right now. Players got to come back and cover. I like the move. It keeps the team rotating and makes the play a little bit more natural.
And, you know, when you do have a defensive-minded player and a defensive mostly, you know, that's more of his niche, it's good that you can have him play offense, and then when you need him to, he can backpedal, he can backskate, and he's ready to play defense. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see, and I think it's going to work out for the Chippewas tonight. Last stoppage in play had been a result of Cal Jesko having a quick shot going off the low blocker pad of Gross and going up and out of play. Puck being chased down now by Taylor Ackley, recovered by the Knights. Knights trying to move it forward, a quick cross-ice pass, and that's coming to Ryan Racanelli. Duncan fighting for it in the corner next to the Chippewa bench as it's being pushed out now back to the neutral zone. Now Calvin playing with it in their own defensive zone. This one's going to go past and it go back behind the goal where T-Love's going to play with it, and it will be picked up by Tyler Carr. Carr pushes it up back into the neutral zone and pushed back into the Chippewas defensive zone. Gleason has it, pushes it forward, goes off of the stick of Nolan LeClaire, and pushed back now behind the net once again. Plays off of the net. Chippewas are able to recover it and get back on top of it and start the push forward.
Good pressure by Calvin, trying to get the players. Like we said yesterday, CMU did a great job on the forecheck, trying to keep Calvin in their own zone. Right now, Calvin is beating CMU at their own game.
Right about that one, a quick shot right there and saved by Tyler Everlove. Shot taken by Tom Riedema.
We talked all day yesterday that the key for this Chippewa team, the key was keeping Calvin in their own zone, an aggressive forecheck, and right now Calvin is shoving that game right back into Chippewa's face. And it's interesting to see if the CMU forecheck can get out of their own zone with this aggressive Calvin forecheck. So
far, so good. Cody Ferris able to connect that one nearly to Ryan Tyre, loses it in the neutral zone. Chippewas are going back to get this one with Justice Bigelow. Bigelow had a pretty big game last night as this one's played right in front of the net, recovered by Carr, playing with it for a second, and a big hit laid down against Frank Moreschi. Physical game,
This is the big lineup. You got Cody Ferris, Justice Bigelow, and Zach Carr. Zach Carr, he's got the body of a defensive player. His brother Tyler Carr, obviously one of the defenders for the Chippewas, but he plays right up in front with the big boys. It's funny how you got the three biggest players on the team on the ice right now, and little Ryan Tyre is out there just scooting around. He's a firecracker. Getting the first goal in last night's game was my player of the game last week.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, you know, we talked about it last night. He's kind of like a dump bulldog, you know. He's one of those guys, may not be too big, but he plays huge, and he plays so much bigger than his bite. As a quick shot goes off of the wall and out of play.
And the notes spill onto the net.
You know, I might have to pick those up eventually, but we'll see what we can do. Try and pick that up during intermission while we do talk to Dalton Sutherland, who's not in today's game.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a knee problem. He said that's not the reason that he's staying out of the game. Players are kind of laughing at you right there, Shawn. But he'll be up at after the first period to talk to us about tonight's game and maybe a little bit about last night's game.
Yeah, we'll have plenty to talk about for him, what he saw from so far in this game and what he liked that he saw last night. Notebook is still on the netting, but we got most of the papers, so you know what, we're moving forward with it.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Meanwhile, puck being moved forward by the Chippewas on the stick for a second was of Eric Willits.
How are you going to get that?
You know, I'm not totally sure. It's going to have to be one of those big lean forwards. We are lucky that we do have the big netting pretty close to where we're sitting.
I don't think the refs would be too happy if that paper fell on the fell on the ice there.
Luckily, we got kind of the 3x3 inch squares, so I think it's going to be not too terrible.
We'll be fine.
We've had more interesting situations, I believe. Puck being played back into the neutral zone and now into the Chippewa zone. Trying to chase it down is John Kahns for Calvin. Kahns playing with it. Niederhauser has it for a second, loses it off of a couple slashes by Kyle Hyde. Seeing him in the game tonight. Stick being played around by Duncan, and it's covered up by Tyler Everlove for the save.
Kyle Hyde hasn't played in a lot of games this year. I think it's only his second or third game, and he's got the notebook. Oh, and then he loses it. Yeah, Kyle Hyde hasn't played in a lot of games today, but he's a good player. He's a strong skater, and I'll look to see how his impact will come to the Chippewas today.
Absolutely, and so far, he had a deflection right there on a puck that was being played up against the wall, able to do what he had to do so far, and, it's just about making your presence felt, and we saw that from Cal Jesko last night. It's a quick shot's taken, goes off of the top right shoulder of Tyler Everlove, being played around. Riedema picks it up, trying to push it forward, but it will go only as far as Richard Cortopassi. Passy moving it up now, trying to pass it up to Austin Cole. Now being played in the far corner away from us, being played well much in front of kind of a scrum in front of Gross, being pushed out of the neutral zone now, and going to have to get it back now is Cody DiLorenzo. Couple sticks hit the puck before it just finally flutters into the defensive zone of the Calvin Knights. That'll result in a line change for the Chippewas as Carr comes out. DiLorenzo pushing it back now, has to scoot it away for an opportunistic stick of Maresh. He can try and get a stick on that one. Now a lot of scrumming in the neutral zone. This one pushed forward will be played by Tyler Everlove and laid down for Carr. Carr settles it behind the net for a second before pushing it up to Gleason, and Gleason's trying to slow up the offense for a second. Puck pushed into the air, a little shovel pass up there, and now moving it forward is Taylor Ackley. Ackley moving it himself, loses it for a second, now has it behind the net, and CMU with an attempted one-timer at the blue line, not able to get that one off cleanly was Gilmer. And that was a great chance for the Chippewas that they could just not get on top of. Good
look by Nolan LeClaire. Picked up the puck behind the net and saw Taylor Ackley coming in off the bench, unaccounted for, just kind of whiffed on the shot, but that's still a difficult shot.
Yeah, that is. And, there's a lot of speed coming up on that one, and as long as you can keep the puck in the zone like the Chippewas do right now, as it's played right in front of the net, it's still going to result in a good chance.
Looks like Calvin might be called for a penalty here in front of the net. Going to be a hook. An aggressive play in front of the net, and he's got the notebook, the champ. He's triumphant.
It took 4 minutes of game time, but you know what? We finally have all the pieces of the broadcast back together.
But like we said, in front of the net, very aggressive Calvin as their defenseman. They like to barge you in front of the net. They like to put their stick right in the top of your pants and push you down. That's an aggressive play, and I hope that the refs take a close look at that today, because that's definitely something that could spark a fight, a couple penalties, and that could definitely get this game out of control if it need be.
So we'll have a power play now for the Chippewas, and playing with it in the back on the blue line is Tyler Carr. Now on the stick of Nolan LeClaire. LeClaire passes it back up to Carr. Carr gets it back to LeClaire, and the other Carr has got it now in Zach Carr.
Chippewas 0 for 3 on the power play yesterday. Good chances early on, but not a lot of chances later in the game. Let's see if they'll be improved.
Yeah, they don't have exactly one of the better power plays in the ACHA. A quick shot taken right there from Tyler Carr, able to go wide right of the net and going to be cleared down the ice by the Knights. Tyler Everlove picks it up, looking to find a Chippewa to pass it to. Passes it behind him to James Gleason. Now a quick pass right there to Nolan LeClaire.
And Tyler Carr is going to get called for the penalty, a roughing behind the play. We talked all season, those dumb penalties, they're going to come back and bite you in the butt, and Tyler Carr is not happy with the call.
Well, I know another Tyler that wouldn't be too happy about that one, and it's not you, it's Coach Cataline. Those kind of penalties are the things that he really has been harping on all season, not just to us, but to the team itself, and, well, now you've lost the power play.
Yeah, now you're a 4-on-4 for about 45 seconds, and that's a power play that this Chippewa team needed. Calvin College has all the momentum right now. They've got all the scoring opportunities. We need to see CMU take an opportunity right here.
Bigelow had the puck on his stick for a second, lost it, and regained it. Now moving the puck up himself, playing this one back behind the net. Alex Gross tries to push it forward and is able to do so. Puck coming out of the neutral zone. Calvin getting a numbers advantage if they want it. Quick shot being taken. Rather passed away to Racanelli. Racanelli looking to find somebody. Gets it off of the foot of Nate Allgaier. Pushed back to the line. Trying to get it to Cam Bell, but Allgaier pushes it away from him. A great game strategy that the Chippewas were able to deploy yesterday is just keeping the puck off of the stick of the Ontario native Cam Bell as this puck comes in offsides.
Yeah, I like the strategy out here. They got 3 forwards. It's, they got the change in lines, but it was Cody Ferris, Taylor Ackley, Nathan Allgaier, and I believe Travis Gilmer was out there. 3 forwards, 1 defenseman, and Allgaier's a big player, so he can play that defense position if they want to have an extra forward out there. So an aggressive play on the 4-on-4.
You know, I think that's a good thing to do. There's a lot of speed out on the ice, and there's a lot of chance for you to put the puck in the back of the net. Should you be able to with not a lot of bodies out there, why not play a little more offensive-minded when you do have the numbers tied up at 4? So now behind the net, or rather to the side of the net, Cody DiLorenzo has the puck, and being interfered with slightly was Michael Chotsko. A quick shot is taken. Chotsko able to recover that one right in front of Tyler Everlove, and now pushing himself back up the ice. The power play goes to the Calvin Knights now as their skater who was off for the penalty is back on the ice. So now a little more defensive-minded are the Chippewas going to be, with Cal Jesko playing nearest to the puck right now. DiLorenzo chasing this one next to the Chippewa bench, and Chotsko's going to come up with this one. Gets this one cross ice to Jesko. Jesko kills time for a second before finally clearing this one down.
Smart play by Cal. Nobody attacking him. He's at the blue line. Just wait there until somebody attacks you. It's a play that not many people do. If nobody's attacking you, you don't have to attack the puck. Kill time, sit back, and then dump it into the zone. A good penalty kill here for the Chips.
You know, that's kind of more of the field hockey kind of reminiscent style. The rule of field hockey is that you cannot you cannot attack the puck carrier unless they move the puck. So it's a great way to kill time, and it's a strategy that I saw deployed yesterday at the MAC tournament for field hockey. Puck played back now as both teams are back to even strength. A quick attempt taken. Moretti had an open net if he wanted it. Not able to capitalize on it. Tyler Everlove would have had to make a quick move as now the puck nearly gets to the front side of the net. James Gleason pushes it away, and now they're playing kick the biscuit along the boards. Gleason comes up with it. Such an aggressive stick handler, and that's the reason he was able to come up with that one.
He's got a strong stick. He holds the stick very strong, and that's something that's really overlooked. You know, when you're going into the boards, if you don't have a strong grip on your stick, you're not going to come out with that puck. So very strong handle of the puck is important.
Yeah, and he was able to do that right there, slashing away at the puck along the boards and able to come up with it for his Chippewa team. Now being played just past the neutral zone, not going to be down for an icing as it goes down behind Everlove. Gleason pushes it forward, gets hit a little bit by Sam Shaver, being moved up, not able to connect with Kyle Hyde, and that will go down for an icing. 11:13 remaining here in a quick moving first period. Still tied up at 0. We thank you for joining us here today on Meridics.com. This is a presentation of Central Michigan University Hockey. I'm Shawn Bednard, your play-by-play man, and your color commentator for the night and for the season, Tyler Marcotte.
Beautiful day here at Grand Rapids as well. You know, a little chilly, but the sun's shining. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, absolutely. And the drive down here, pretty relaxing, I'd say. You know, we took a lot of back roads, saw a lot of country, and, you know, drove through Wynn. We drove through some cities I've never heard of, 6 lakes. There were 6 lakes. We made sure to count.
We counted, and we verified that indeed 6 lakes. And there was also a street that said lakes,
yes,
like in quotations. It was very weird.
Quote unquote Lake Street. I'm not sure if there actually is a lake or, you know, if they're just trying to be, you know, a little bit funny about it, but I guess we'll have to find out on the way back. Puck being moved up now by Eric Willits. Had it for a second there and lost it as he was moving it into the Chippewa offensive zone. Puck being taxed by a couple different players. A shot is taken from the blue line, but it is taken away. Gilmer, I believe, takes a quick shot and not able to put that one away as it is saved by Alex Gross.
Good move by Gilmer. Just put the puck right between the Calvin defensemen and moved around, trying to get the puck up and away. But an excellent save by Alex Gross, who has proven that he is absolutely the #1 goalie here at Calvin.
No doubt. He had a lot of work that he had to do last night, and for the most part, he did what was asked of him. You know, only 3 goals allowed. Obviously, 3 is still enough to win a hockey game, but if your offense can't deliver, and this is an offense that is expected to deliver 5 goals a night, I mean, he did what he had to do. So now the puck being played in the neutral zone with Calvin having the possession of it. Puck being slapped down by Cody Ferris, trying to move it up. It's deflected off of the glass. Ferris going back to get it once again and trying to move up now. A cross-ice pass to Gilmer, works for a second before it's lost. Gilmer tries to apply a little bit of pressure on Cam Bell, never a bad idea. And now it's back in the Chippewas offensive zone, and now it's going to be pushed down the ice for an icing. Puck will be played in Calvin's defensive zone now. Eagle Ice Center here, technically in Wyoming, Michigan, also the home of Grace Bible College, formerly known as the Jolly Roger. And, you know, I'm a big fan of the Jolly Roger.
I like the name. It's fancy. So I talked to a couple Calvin players actually before the game, and they said since this ice is technically owned by Central Christian High School, they had a deal with Calvin University so that since Central Christian does not have a pool, they use Calvin's pool, and since Calvin does not have an ice rink, they use Central. They try and switch off. Calvin has free ice here.
Wow.
So a little tidbit.
That's huge. I mean, this team for Calvin is their varsity squad, and this is CMU's club squad. But that's huge that anytime that you can play on someone else's ice, and yes, this is the home ice for Calvin, but not having to pay for it, that's huge. And that means that, anytime they need to use it, practice or anything, that means they're going to be able to make the most of it.
And a beautiful locker room, I must say.
Oh, yes. They did renovations to it back in 2011, I believe, and this is it's a beautiful looking arena. It's a very small town kind of feel, but I can really appreciate this arena. Now puck being played up the ice by Nate Allgaier. Allgaier looks like he wanted to get it out to Tyer. Now going to be out of the zone. Coming out of nowhere to get on top of that one was Gleason applying a little bit of pressure. Puck played back behind the net, and there will be a line change now for the Chippewas and for the Knights. Now the puck being quickly taken up ice by the man that did not go off. Shot goes well to the right of the net. No real shot attempt right there. No pressure had to be made by Tyler Everlove. Mareshi trying to come up with the puck now. He's being interfered with right there by Austin Cole. And there's a scrum in the corner now as it's pushed out to the blue line. Clear shot taken. Deflects off of DiLorenzo's body. Great place, great time.
Calvin running into Tyler Everlove. Surprised they didn't call a penalty. This day and age, goalies are very well protected, and they will call anything that they think is goalie interference, and I'm surprised they didn't call anything right there. High
and rising shot taken right there by Tyler Carr. And it gets the puck pushed all the way back to the Chippewa zone where Carr has to come up with it again. Pushing it up the ice and not seeing it was Cortopassi. Quick shot being taken, deflects off of somebody in front of the net. Pushed back out to the blue line and deflected once again by a stick. None of these shots being taken by Calvin are getting their way to the net, and that is huge.
Good shot by Betts, went right through the net. Barely just missed Tyler Everlove's right pad on the right side, but that's a good shot. Lots of traffic in front. That's something we also didn't see yesterday. Calvin did not have that many people in front of Tyler Everlove or Alex Estes yesterday. Got to block the angle of the goalie, make sure he can't see the puck and low shots and get that rebound. Calvin is learning from their mistakes that they had yesterday.
Yeah, and this is the number 2 team in the country for a reason. They started off 8-0, so, for them to be in this little bit of a rut, they are still trying to figure out, we started off so hot, how come our last 4 we haven't been able to pick up a W? And, that was the question the Chippewas kind of had to learn to answer themselves in these last couple of weeks, and last night definitely helped their cause. Puck frozen by Alex Gross on a widely taken shot from Justice Bigelow.
Good defensive play again for the Chips, making sure that no good shots are taken and trying, but the breakout's still not working as well as we need it to work out, and Calvin's putting a lot of pressure on the forwards.
Puck off the faceoff went way high and almost hit the chops of the referee down low. Now the puck's being pushed alongside the shallow boards. A little bit of pressure being applied right there by Eric Willits. It's being pushed up ice now by Justice Bigelow. Trying to keep it in the zone is Calvin, not able to do so, but not able to connect cleanly on the pass was Kyle Hyde. Everlove leaves it behind the net for Cody Ferris, and Ferris is moving it up slightly before getting it to Eric Willits. Willits has it inside of the offensive zone now, takes a shot, goes to the left of the net. A diving attempt right there taken, trying to get the puck back inside of the low slot, and now the puck's being played with behind the Calvin net once again. At the line, Chatsko just pushes it back in for a dump and chase, and now going around to get it is Caleb Bentley. Bentley has it for a second, is tied up with the Calvin defender, and now Calvin has it moving out of their zone. Jesko comes up with this puck and gets it only as far as the Calvin defensive zone's blue line. Now coming up with it is Nolan LeClaire. LeClaire had it, trying to fight for it again. Chatsko has it now back in the Chippewas defensive zone and trying to get that one out to Gilmer. This one will reflect off the boards, go down to Gross, and be frozen.
The Chippewas like to go behind the net. Whenever there's problems in front of the net, or excuse me, below the net, and you can't find anyone to pass to, they like to backhand it out in front of the net. And normally that works, but if you're not looking, if you're not seeing where you're passing it, that can go right to a Calvin player and lead to a breakout, and that's not something you want.
Face-off taken in the right circle in the Calvin defensive zone. Calvin comes up with the puck off of the face-off and is now just trying to get their offense set up as they come out of the zone. Not a very nicely taken pass right there. As coming up with it was Taylor Ackley. Now being played with a scrum in front of the net. A couple players all over the ice, and a penalty will be called. Initial look, it looks like it's going to be against the Chippewas' Nolan LeClaire. And it will be. So LeClair's going to the box for 2 minutes, and that'll be another power play for the Knights.
Well, scrum in front of the net, being aggressive, trying to get Calvin players off their edge. We talked about that before the game. We're saying there was aggressive play in front of the net. And if you're going to continue to get that aggressive look, you're going to have to start calling the penalties or else it's going to go out of hand. So this is just the ref trying to micromanage the game, making sure it doesn't get too out of hand.
Chippewa penalty kill, one of the finest in the ACHA, but this is a dangerous situation they have right here. We have 2 men right in front of Everlove, a great screen going on. This one just passed on the shallow side of the blue line, and now coming up with it behind the net is Riedema. Riedema looking to go somewhere with it, not having a very favorable position as he steps on the puck and loses it for a second. Racanelli trying to fight it off, but fighting for it is Cordo. Cordo gets it as far as the blue line, and now he's just going to need a little bit of help. James Gleason had it for a second, lost it, and Riedema was almost in beautiful position to put that puck away. A very good power play so far as a quick shot's taken, deflects off of a Calvin player. Quick shot taken, didn't really have his puck or his stick on the way of the net. And now another shot being taken here, goes to the right of Everlove. Chippewa's got to desperately clear this one out of the zone. Back to the blue line, a shot being lined up, taken by Bell, goes off of the stick of Everlove, and it goes up and out of play.
Calvin players are just sitting in front of Tyler Everlove, and you got Tyler Carr and James Gleason right in front of the net. You got to move those guys out of the way. It's not a penalty if you push them out of the way. They're screening your goal. You got to make sure he can see those shots. That's very important. 2 shots easily could have gone in, and if he can't see the puck, he can't make that save. You got to clear out the front of the net. That high slot is a very important territory, especially on the penalty kill.
Mareshi had a great look, probably about 10 feet outside of the net, and was not able to capitalize on it as a quick shot's taken right there. A lot of players in front of the net. No one able to put this one home. Falling on top of it, net's displaced, and it will not be a goal. John Cons is pushed into the net by Justice Bigelow, and that prevented the goal. That is huge for the Chippewas.
Again, players in front of the net couldn't really see. Tyler Everlove had no vision of the puck. The puck's just sitting there, and then the shot comes in, slides right under his chest. Good thing that net was put off its hinges, or else that would have been a goal for Calvin Knights.
Puck was sliding towards the net, just got underneath of the body of Tyler Everlove. That's not easy to do. He's a big fella, and that was a dangerous situation. Chippewas can breathe a little easier knowing that the score does remain 0-0, but now the puck being played around right behind the net and trying to get this one in back over to David Zwires. Zwires has got it again, pushing this one back out to the blue line. Quick pass over to the opposite side of the blue line, back into the high slot, shot taken, trying to get the redirect off of the boards, and Duncan's got it behind the net now, trying to find Zwires in front of the net. Duncan still with it. Gets it back out to the outside of the circle, back to the high slot, and not able to hold on to it cleanly was Alex Huizenga. Push being back out, 20 seconds left, back in the high slot. Huizenga takes the shot, redirected off of Ryan Tyre. That's why he's out there on the penalty kill. He's able to get so many blocked shots. Now being played with in front of the net, goes off of the body of Justice Bigelow. 7 seconds remaining, and this has been a great power play as a quick shot is taken right there from Zwires, able to be stopped high pad side by Tyler Everlove, and now moving up is Nolan LeClaire for a second. Chippewa's able to get the kill, but not without having a lot of shots faced by Everlove.
Tyler Everlove kept this game 0-0. That was a last opportunity, almost synced right past the pad of Tyler Everlove. A great save, a lucky penalty kill for the Chippewas.
The pressure continues for the Calvin Knights right now. Cal Jesko had a shot taken off of his lower left leg, able to get that one out. Not out of the zone, still another quick shot being taken. Mareshi has it in front of the net before it's pushed away by Eric Willits, and Willits is moving it up the ice now. 2-on-2, trying to take a quick shot, and it will come on offsides.
Pressure in front of the net is killing the Chippewas right now. They need to start clearing out the front of the net, because right now Tyler Everlove can't see a lot of these shots. There could have been 3 or 4 goals on that last penalty kill alone. Even after the penalty, Calvin had a lot of pressure. You want to make sure that he can see the puck and make sure that he has an opportunity to make the save. There were, like I said, 3 or 4 chances where Calvin could have capitalized on open nets and open shots. Good saves by Tyler Everlove. He's keeping the Chips in the game right now.
And I mean, if the net had not come off its hinges, it would be a 1-0 game right now. And Chippewas are very lucky to have survived that penalty kill, but with their big men out on the ice on that penalty kill, there's no reason that puck should have been kept in the zone for that entire 2 minutes, and then about 50 seconds following it. 3 minutes remaining here in the first period, all tied up at 0 thanks to the great goaltending work of Tyler Everlove. Chippewa defense has to step up, able to do so now. Cal Jesko chasing this one behind. Whistle is blown.
Looks like it'll be offsides, intentional offside, so it's going to be closer in the Calvin zone.
2:52 remaining here in the first period now, still tied up at 0. Taking the face-off will be Cody DiLorenzo. Puck about to be dropped. One back to the Calvin defensive zone, and Calvin's moving it forward now to their own neutral zone past the red line. Coming up with it now is James Gleason. Gleason takes it around behind the net and looking to play things upward as this pass is errant and taken by Calvin Knight. DiLorenzo trying to fight with it. Tyler Everlove picks it up for a second and leaves it for Cortopassi to come with it. Cordo has to push down Racanelli to try and get to that puck. Racanelli had to readjust the helmet and get himself back forward. James Gleason with the puck in front of the net, tries the backhand, not able to get a great shot off as Calvin Knight's stick was right there. And now a race being taken by Calvin, an opportunistic stick of Tyler Carr is able to prevent anything from happening on that one. A nice hit laid down there by Cortopassi. And Cortopassi now moving this one up to D'Lo as it's played outside of the Chippewas defensive zone. 2 minutes remaining here in the first period. Puck played now, and almost a wide open opportunity for the Calvin Knights. Getting it back now is Josh Niederhauser. Cons has it now, and playing with it around on the right side of the net was Riedema before losing it. Pushed back out now, Riedema nearly had it again, and slowing things up is Austin Cole. Ooh, taking that one up high into the throw area was Cortopassi. Cortopassi quickly gets off and tries to recollect himself.
Looks okay, probably just caught him right up in the cage. That's a scary thing to see, though.
Yeah, immediately grabbed his head area, mostly his lower head area, kind of towards the chin and the jaw, hoping that he's okay. Looks like he's doing okay on the bench. 1:17 remaining here now. Scrum in front of the net. Puck pushed away. Quick shot out to the line. Cody Ferris takes that shot. It jumps over the top of the net. Calvin just trying to get it out of their zone. It does go back to the neutral zone. Bigelow trying to move it back in. Gets it in. Offsides.
Good pressure in front of the net by Travis Gilmer. I think I did that
every
times
time.
Yesterday. I don't know why. But good shot right there. Good pressure in front. And then the puck comes back out to Cody Ferris, and he takes a low shot that gets deflected. While we say that Calvin is in front of our net, we need to be in front of their net, making sure that Alex Gross cannot see the puck. So a little opposite. We need to clear them out in front of our net, and we need to get in front of their net and get more opportunities for a screen or a low shot that can be pushed out or deflected.
Just over a minute remaining here, and we are actually going to have a penalty against the Chippewas, Justice Bigelow. I did not see what happened.
Maybe some scruffing after the play, but again, that's those penalties. Good. They were great on penalties yesterday.
Yes.
We didn't talk about it after the game.
What do they have, 3? Maybe
it
3,
seemed like
4?
we had 3 or 4 penalties, and that's a season low, I would say.
I have to say, Racanelli working with this puck behind the net now. Already 2 penalties for the Chippewas as Cal Jesko has it. This penalty will be moved up to the second period, barring a score. Right now, Chippewas working with it in their own offensive zone, with Cal Jesko fighting with it in the corner. Chatsko and Gilmer on the line. Gilmer playing defense on this penalty kill. Gilmer coming up to play on this one now, gets this one moved up just a little bit, trying to get it up to Nolan LeClaire, not able to do so. Shot taking goes wide behind the net. 24 seconds remaining here. Chatsko's got it in the Chippewas defensive zone, moving this one up and clearing this one down the ice. Not all the way, as it is picked up by Calvin Knight right in front of the back line.
Good line for the Chippewas. You got Nolan LeClaire, Gilmer, Chatsko, and looks like Cal was out there on the ice. Good pressure, a lot of pressure on it. Even though you're down a player right now, this penalty kill is looking great. And that's going to be the end of the first period.
Yeah, very well played first period, as we are seeing a little extracurricular activity happen in the top corner for the Chippewas and the Knights. 58 seconds will remain on this penalty for CMU. But Tyler Everlove, I think he's the notable player of that first period for sure.